All right, let me send this to all the appropriate places. All right, hello and welcome to the final tribal council of Distortion Survivor Pure Imagination. We are here with the final two in Aaliyah and Justin. So just to go over some things, I mentioned some of these things prior, but just so that the jury can hear, Aaliyah, since she had won the final immunity challenge, had chosen to start the opening speeches, but in turn close in the closing speeches, which means Justin will go second in the opening and go first in the closing. Uh, Jurors, you have the 7 minutes, just like they will have the 6 minutes. If you choose to end your time, just say like, I'm abstaining the rest of my time, or just give us some notice that you're not going to use all your time. That being said, I am very thankful for the viewers who are watching and for the jurors slash pre-jurors who are also watching as well. Justin, Aaliyah, are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, Aaliyah, you are going to go first, and your time starts now.
Hello. I first want to thank production. When I was first reached out to about applying this season, I was super excited because all my friends have done this. So I knew that I wanted to come into this game with a game plan and like just play to the best of my ability. So throughout the entirety of pre-merge, like I did that. I met so many incredible people. Like that was like one of my main goals too, is to meet so many people in this community. I've heard about so many people and I wanted to see how you play. I wanted to see how you were socially. And everyone I came into contact with like was just a beautiful person. So pre-merge, like I was on a tribe that continued to win. So I never got to like really test any loyalties, test anything going into a tribal. So that really continued post merge and into our swap. Um, Post merge, we got to our first immunity challenge and I won that. And then I was immune again. So I didn't really get to experience that side either. And then that vote was kind of crazy. We ended up going to Rocks and ended up going home, which was really awful, honestly, because I had gotten really close to Cody. Um, Moving on from that, I wasn't really sure where I was going to go in this game. I thought I was going to come and be really cutthroat, try to get all the information I can, and really just like play like a really aggressive game. So I really tried to. People want immunities, people want advantages, and I was like really nervous about that because I did not have an immunity. So I wanted to kind of figure out how I can either use those to my advantage or get rid of them in total. So hearing about things, I heard multiple people had them. So that first vote got very split after Cody went home and Cake ended up being the vote. Um, and that was really crazy after she just played her immunity in the previous round. But I felt that I was doing a bunch of engineering and like figuring out how to like push that vote forward. And it turns out that wasn't entirely true, but I lived in that illusion. At the time, I did not know that was fact, but I really thought I did something there. So going into the mirror vote, I was really confident that like, you know what, I'm gonna try to get out another idol. We're gonna see what can go there because one, I heard you have the idol, and other people were saying like different things to me, and it did not feel that like you're the most loyal to me. So like it made me nervous. So I really wanted to do something there. And in that vote, everybody got the best of me and really flipped. And that was really awful. Especially the vote count was awful because I voted with Taco Tony and we voted the way that we had agreed. So it was it was really awful to see you go. But that really made me have to reevaluate how I played this game. It was obviously awful to be blindsided and feel lied to by everybody, and like not even just feel it, like know that everybody was lying to me. But that made me realize that like I couldn't play the way that everybody else was playing. I had to do something different. So I decided that I was just gonna continue on trying to win these challenges and trying to just build better connections with people so that the trust was not a problem on my part. They didn't have a problem trusting me, or it felt like they didn't have a problem trusting me. So, going into the Billy's Big Brother, I knew that if it was a very big possibility that I was going to be on the bottom after doing that one vote. So, I knew I had to either win immunity or win the veto. So I got that veto win, and I knew I needed to put Taco Tony up or get that veto on Taco Tony because I knew that Marcella was going to put Juan up, and I knew that was going to be the vote because of the idol. So going into Sam's vote, I actually talked to Sam right before that vote and let him know, like, you are my biggest challenge threat right now. You are have the most challenge wins, like, but I need to vote you out, and I'm so sorry about that. So I did talk to you, Sam, and like, still, I feel like you would have won out in the end because you're so good at those challenges. Um, Denson, that was like actually a really sad vote too, and I think that was a sad vote for everybody. Um, but again, like I just felt like I had the least connection with you, and because actually I had to sit down after the one vote with Sean, and like I learned a lot of information, and I knew that there were a lot more ties in the game. I knew that I was being delusional and crazy, so I needed to actually just go with the flow and go with Denson. Actually, I missed Sam and Dunson out, but you know what I was meaning. Taco Tony also, that was somebody that I felt like I was really aligned to. So I really did not want to see you go, but that I knew that it was going to be a toss up because I had no idea where anybody's loyalties lie. So that was really awful. When we got through to Taco Tony, um, Sean, that was really crazy. I did have to turn around and try my best to get you out, and I think that worked. Um, Marcelo, I had nothing to do with you going home. I voted for Sabrina. I really truly did, and I'm sorry that you ended up going home. Um, and going into the end, I knew that I had to pick somebody that has possibly made more enemies than me, and I thought that was going
All,
to be Justin.
all right,
So
Aaliyah, your time is up.
work.
Oh, Justin, give me a thumbs up when you're ready. All right, your time starts now.
Hey everyone. I also want to thank production. I had a blast playing and I'm so grateful. And I want to thank Aaliyah. I had a blast playing with her and just being here with her is awesome. Coming into this game after over a year not playing, I was pretty nervous. I knew I wasn't the smartest, the flashiest, or the most physical player, so my path to the end had to be different. I had to play in the shadows. I really tried to build my strategy on three pillars: adaptability, deception, and social capital. And I do think I succeeded. From the start, I built strong relationships. Sean and Cake became my closest allies, and I formed real bonds with them, and we formed the menage a trois. And I also gave Cake coins to find the idol. Sean then became my rock and my closest ally in this game. At the swap, I formed another type bond with Coach and Sabrina, which I got to carry onto Merge. I really think that the mirror vote was the turning point in this game. The iconic Six alliance that was formed the round before pulled off this vote, and it caused so much confusion that even Aaliyah believed Juan was responsible when he wasn't. And this chaos worked in my favor because it let me continue playing the middle without suspicion. The next round was Billy's big brother, and I was able to successfully throw the challenge and not expose any cards, thus staying in the shadows. With the coach round, I really didn't want him to go, but I knew I had to be adaptable. So I decided to solidify my commitment to Sabrina by telling her beforehand that he was the vote and reinforcing our duoship. I knew I wanted to be loyal to at least one person, and I chose her. And when the council, another alliance I was in, wanted to target Sabrina next if Sam won immunity, I used my bedridden power immediately, ensuring Sam couldn't win immunity and eliminating that threat, a power that I kept completely secret from everybody. Even in the Tony round, Aaliyah had told me that if Marcelo won immunity, Tony planned to target me to split up Marcelo, Sean, and I. And that really sealed his fate. I think that shows I was able to consistently get info from other players, even when it worked against their best interest. At every step, I was making sure I had options. Throughout this game, I had final twos with Aaliyah, Sabrina, Marcelo, Sean, Coach. Probably people who weren't even playing this fucking game, which is a super dangerous way to play. In every alliance I was in, I was also in sub alliances in both sides. I positioned myself so I knew what was happening each round and that the person whose name I wrote down went home without ever dealing with the massive fallout. And this was all built from my social capital. Sean himself called me a non threat, and I did whatever I could to capitalize on that perception. In the floor challenge, I was not picked for a head to head match the entire time because literally everybody thought they had me. I let people believe I was swayable, that I wasn't always in the know, when in reality, I was working every angle. I was double and triple dipping alliances, feeding information when it suited me, withholding when it didn't. I was always waiting for people to compare notes, but somehow no one ever did. And I think that's a testament to my strong bonds. I do think the Sean vote was one of the hardest moments of my game. I knew it would be perceived that I couldn't differentiate my game from his. And then when he switched from targeting Aaliyah because of her shot in the dark to Sabrina, I knew I had to rip the band aid on the biggest threat in the game. At the Final Four, I do think I made one of my most ruthless moves. I told Aaliyah and Marcelo I'd vote Sabrina, but I voted Marcelo instead, even though Marcelo the night before told me that Aaliyah wanted to vote me. I did this because I wanted to honor my commitment to Sabrina, and while I thought about telling Marcelo, I worried that telling him would cause him to flip with Aaliyah and vote me. Plus, my gut said Aaliyah would take him to the end over me, and protection of myself was my number one priority. And this is where the deception came into play. I know I was a villain in this game. I was selfish as hell. I lied. I betrayed. I manipulated. I put myself in situations where I had to hurt people. And I knew that every time I went to tribal, I was taking another step closer to backstabbing someone who trusted me. And I did it anyway. Because in this game, I told myself they would do it to you, Justin. Maybe they wouldn't have. Maybe that was just me projecting my own cutthroat gameplay onto everyone else. But that mindset kept me prepared for every scenario. I wasn't playing to be the most honest or the most loyal. I was playing to survive. And I understand that my actions have consequences, and I'm here to reap what I sowed. I played ruthless, no holds barred, downright villainous. I made and I broke bonds. I lied. I maneuvered my way here. I knew what was happening at every moment, and I made sure I had options at all times. I couldn't rely on immunity wins or advantages, and I survived without receiving a single vote cast against me. That's huge. And I was brought here. I always had a seat at the table, even if I wasn't the one visibly making decisions. I was a quiet force behind the game, pushing things in my direction while letting others think they were in charge. And that's why I'm sitting here. And I do think I deserve to win. And please, if you do vote for me, I will stop microwaving my chicken. Thank you.
All right, just to confirm you're abstaining the rest of the time.
Abstaining.
All right. Well, Aaliyah, Justin, you've gone through openings, and it is time to introduce the first member of the jury that you will be speaking to today. Hello, Kate. Can you hear us?
I sure can.
All right. Your 7 minutes starts when you start speaking.
Okay, let me pull up my notes.
Diva.
Okay, hello everyone.
Hi, babe.
It's interesting seeing both of y'all here because I feel like both of y'all have crossed me in different ways, and some are very personal for both. So I just want to jump right in. So, Aaliyah, my first question is for you. Why did you go around saying like you wanted a trans-identifying players final two or final three, then an all women's final three, just for you to like not follow through? Because it seems like you made a whole lot of empty promises to people, and just walk us through it. Because like to me, it looks like you wanted to make sure that you were safe no matter.
Mhm.
But
Well, that's so I actually had made zero connections with anybody except literally girls and everyone else who was in my original tribe. I didn't meet anybody until merge.
Mm,
So the only reason we really met was because of Bodo. And then here in Distortion, I I that was being very truthful. I did want divas in the end. That was literally my main goal. I did I do want a trans representation in the end. However, right before your vote, I originally wasn't going to go you at all. And
oh,
then I was talking to Mira and talking to Sean and talking to Juan, and I noticed little pieces of information were just like popping out. And then I would talk to
hmm,
Coach, and then different information would pop out there that only could come from there. And then
mhm.
everybody was telling me, Cake is saying this, or I'd ask, where did you get this? They said Cake, and everybody else was already going on Cake. So it was,
Interesting.
yeah, it was for me, I was just like really threatened because in that point in time, I was playing in a way to like, I wanted to be the information getter. I wanted to be the top dog in that. And it just like was really a threat, honestly. Like, you're such a diva. I wanted to be the biggest diva, like, to be honest.
Mhm, mhm. Now, Justin, for the majority of the game, at least to me, and some others agree and somewhat disagree, you rode mine and Sean's coattails for the longest part. And then when it got to merge, after my vote, you rode the coattails of your six-person alliance. So could you please shed to us some lights on what moves did you make that were actually yours and not the alliances?
Right. Well, pre-merge, I was only with you guys for like 2, 3 rounds and then I was separated. So I can't really ride coattails of people I'm not with. And then in terms of the 6-person alliance that I tell them that I had advantage? Did I betray them? Yes. I didn't really ride their coattails when I turned on them because I was working with more people than just those 6. Um, and I think if the perception is that I rode coattails, it's only because I'm not someone who puts myself outright. And I made sure that other people that I was working with, especially in that 6, did it and went after each other. But I think the biggest thing that I didn't tell anyone I had that advantage, and I used it against that 6. So I think that can dispel that I rode the coattails of them.
Mhm. Now we're gonna play a little game. I want you to close your eyes for me. We're gonna play Who Do You Think Has Your Votes? Starting with myself. Raise your hand if you think you have my votes. Okay, noted. Up next, we have Mira. Raise your hand if you think you have Mira's vote. Interesting. Raise your hand if you think you have Juan's vote. Noted. Raise your hand if you think you have Jensen's vote. Noted. Sam's vote. Mm-hmm. All right. Taco Tony. Mm-hmm. Marcelo. Okay. And last but not least, Sabrina's vote. All right. Interesting. So I believe I still have lots of time left. So just walk me through so I heard that you were originally were gonna write my name down, Aaliyah. So like walk me through like who was the actual person behind it and like how that came to fruition. So I've been quiet.
Well, it so that was something that like it was a thought in my mind. So I had somebody else's name down in the way that like I had other names in mind, but then I started hearing Cake said this and Cake said that, and I actually started seeing that and all of that. So like it was like an internal decision. Like this is like
Mhm.
could be a problem of information leak, of rivalry, of whatever. And like that's something I discussed with Mira. Mira brought it to me. It was like very, very much that. And then I definitely went to Denson and Sean and told them the same thing. I mean, they had their own plans going on at the same time, so I can't say that I like masterminded that with them, but like that is something that I did put out there, and I will own that because like I was very intimidated by the fact like you already knew everything, and I literally just got to merge and knew nothing.
That's fine. Oh, I seem to forgot a jury member. Close your eyes real quick. Raise your hand if you think you got Sean's vote. Interesting. Okay, we have 1 minute left. So try and sell me your game within 30 seconds, Justin.
I think that I did not ride coattails. I was a very powerful player. I always knew what was going on. Nobody targeted me, and I had 0 votes. I think that's really important. And because I couldn't win immunities. I didn't have advantages that could keep me safe. So I had to build relationships, and I had to know the perfect time when to end those relationships. And I do think I played extremely hard.
Okay, Elia, real quick before we run out of time.
Honestly, I've won the most challenges. I've had the most ups and downs. I even after I thought I was in the bottom, I convinced people to keep me, even if it wasn't for the same reasons I thought it was.
All right, I'm so sorry, but Cake, your time is up. You can leave. Thank you, Cake.
Do you want me to leave this in?
Yes, please. All right, next up is the next member of the jury to speak to you guys. You should ever. Okay, here we go. All right, Mira, your time starts when you start speaking. Yes, please.
I guess I'll start.
Next up is the. And also, could you mute me in the background?
I thought I did. I'm so sorry. I am deafened, so I don't know how I'm just gonna leave this. Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Perfect. I just left the stream. Okay. Hi. Congrats, final two. Very interesting, opening speeches from both of you. It explained a little bit about gameplay since, I only knew that one of you was playing. No offense, Justin, but when you have someone else speak through you or for you, it's a little hard to know what your game is. Um, so, uh, Aaliyah, I'm so sorry. I kind of went off on you when I was eliminated. I thought that you were the reason I went home.
Okay,
I thought
Brittany.
you were doing that thing where you were gonna, fake a fight and then get people to vote for each of us, and then we play the idol, and then you just forgot to tell me to play the idol, and I was like, well then, okay. Um,
Never.
but I like this final tribal question because I think it allows you to really self-reflect on your game as a whole. It's kind of the reverse of what Cake asked you to do. We're going to go through each of the jurors, and I want you to tell me why you think that you don't have their vote. Um, and if you say something like, because I voted them or I blindsided them with everyone else, that shows like zero self-reflection. So I'm going to ask you to do it again. We will start from the most recent juror, going back. So, Sabrina, either one of you can start for why you think you don't have Sabrina's vote.
So she told me very many times that she was closer to Justin and she like they had a final two. So like if there's any reason we didn't get really close until like the middle of merge really too. And like close is a loose term until it got very honestly she got sick and I just like we started opening up and talking more and it was actually really cool. But she definitely closer to Justin.
I think Sabrina wouldn't have my vote, or I wouldn't have her vote because I wasn't as loyal as maybe she was to me because I was playing so many angles and I didn't tell her everything all the time. So unfortunately, it could seem like I was slighting her. So I think that she could see that as a negative and not vote me.
Okay. I'm gonna really struggle with going in order. So I believe next is Marcelo. If you want to do Justin and then Aaliyah this time, we can go back and forth.
I wouldn't have Marcelo's vote because I did him pretty dirty. I think I know that he was fighting for me to stay to Aaliyah, and this whole time I was planning to vote him with Sabrina. So instead of being honest with him and telling him my intentions because I was protecting myself and scared, I wrote his name down and he ended up losing fire, and that was mostly because of me.
Okay, Aaliyah?
Um, honestly, I like kind of stopped lying throughout the game, and it felt really good, honestly, to just be honest with people. And then people I couldn't tell things to, I just didn't. So it felt kind of awful for Marcel to think that I was lying, and I would hate for like to leave like a bad taste in his mouth as well.
Okay. This is where I'm gonna get a little confused because I don't know if it was Sean. I think it was Sean, maybe. Sean, were you next? Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do Sean.
Um, honestly, we were real divas to each other. Like literally after your vote, I called him and maybe yelled quite a bit. Like how like I was mad. So maybe that.
I think I wouldn't have Sean's vote because we were super close, and he did tell me that I wasn't on thread, and he did say that how he would put me in these alliances and how that he had stronger bonds than I did. And so he definitely saw me as someone he really wanted to take to the end and that he could beat. And me turning my back on him was definitely, and he even explained hurtful, not in a game way, like a personal way. So I feel like I may have hurt him personally, and that he will not vote me.
I don't know who's next, so we're just gonna
Tony,
say Sam.
Tony.
Tony.
I apologize. Again, it got real muddy between the first two and the last one.
For Tony, I wouldn't have his vote because Aaliyah was a much closer ally to him. She saved him. Me and him didn't have that much time, like together, talking and connecting. So I think that I wouldn't have his vote.
Can I pause just for a second, on that note? It seems like you really emphasized working with like a small group of people. Is there a reason that you chose to like isolate yourself from people like Tony or myself? Or I don't know how your original tribe was, but if there were people on your original tribe, you did that too as well. And then we'll jump back in.
Yeah. Well, in the merge, it was six. I can't work with every single person as much as I want to and as much as I try. So having a group of six, that was really important to me. And then there was also Aaliyah and kind of with Juan I was talking to. But I knew there had to be people in the game that it would be easy for me to vote out because the closer I got with people and the harder it gets and the more angst I feel, the more angst there's at me. So I had to keep some people at arm's length, truly, for my own sanity.
Okay. Oh God, 1 minute. Okay, we're gonna have to speed round this, I guess. I took too fucking long talking. Aaliyah, why don't you have Taco Tony's vote?
Honestly, because he probably could see Justin as a closer bond to Sean because he was very close to Sean.
Okay. Why don't you have Sam and Coach's vote, both of you?
Honestly, they were definitely in an alliance with Justin, so I was left out of a lot with both of them.
Yeah,
Justin?
I was in a four with the blueberries. So and I betrayed the blueberries, so I can see why I wouldn't get their vote.
And then oh, I think it's is it down to just the final first three? Why are you all not going to get myself, Cake, or Juan's votes?
Oh, because I was originally aligned with you guys, and well, the way that went down.
Yeah, because I didn't take the time to get to know you at all, and I didn't make any personal bonds. So I feel like
All right, and with that, thank you, Mira. You are all set. All right. Next up is drum roll. All right, Densi, can you hear us?
Yes, yes.
All right, your 7 minutes starts whenever you're ready.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm happy to see you both here. I just want to get this out of the way. As someone that plays more socially, I think that both of you did a great job at that. Aaliyah, the fact that you were able to do that circle challenge and no one really say your name, and you just kind of sat there at the end and had someone just give it to you, I think that is a testament to how well you have done socially in this game. Um, Justin, as someone that has often been accused of what you're being accused of tonight, I just want to let everyone else know that there's not just one way to play this game. You don't have to be flashy all of the time or any of the time. And the fact that Orgers, it doesn't really click with them, with us, that most of the time flashy people don't win is crazy. So I don't think that you were riding any type of coattails. I think that both of you did exactly what you needed to do to get to the end. And I think that's a testament to what y'all's strengths are. Having said that, both of y'all have brought up the whole social thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out if you guys were actually paying attention to conversations you would have with people, or was it just kind of, I'm going to talk to them like this until we can segue to the game because I really don't give a shit about what's going on in this person's life. So I'm going to ask you a question about myself and one other juror. And just, you don't have to go into big detail. I would rather you not say where we live or what our occupations are. Anything else, fair game. So Justin, we'll start with you. What are some things that you learned about myself in this game?
I learned that you love trivia, you love wings, your favorite book is Moneyball. I learned about that horrible time you came back from vacation and your apartment was all fucked up from those horrible apartment people. I I learned about that dog that was outside. And I learned that you met Julia, and she lives near you, and you hang out with her all the time. Um, I learned that your cousin plays for the Eagles, like my cousin. I learned a lot about you. I learned that you love Fireball, and I love Fireball. I learned that you like the same things I like. I mean, I learned a lot about you, and I know
Okay.
you. Okay.
Okay. And then what did you learn about Mira?
Mira, barely anything. I know that she was bartending and I know that she's a caseworker, but that's like her career. We didn't, after, I don't really know anything about her, genuinely.
Okay. And then Aaliyah, we'll start with what do you know about Sam? What did you learn about Sam?
Sam. Sam is one of those people that we didn't really talk unless it was game. Like we talked a few times. I know he's very smart and very like methodical. But again, we were one of those people who didn't really talk unless it was game related.
Okay. And then what about myself?
So you actually took a few of mine, but we also didn't talk that much. But I do know that you're very familiar with my area, which not very many people are. So I thought that was really awesome, especially because I'm very geographically like sound. So I thought that was really cool. And also you're not that far from me. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And then I also knew that you are really good into reading and that you're a rugby coach.
Okay.
Girls rugby.
Both, but yes, I do
Yeah.
also do women's. Yes, you're
Yeah.
you're right. Honestly, y'all, I'm expecting. I don't expect people to like take it easy like I did, but that's just because I'm not a mean person, and I really do. I really did enjoy getting to know both of you in this game, and I'm really excited to see who wins. If I don't vote for you, don't take it personally. Both of you voted me out anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I'm really looking forward to what happens the rest of the night. So I'll concede my time.
All right, thank you, Denson. This is not the next juror. This is not the next juror. This is not the next juror. Give me a sec to go get the next juror.
He's on his way.
All right, next juror is on their way. I promise you, DS Prod is not the next juror.
Who is it?
Y'all were the ones that voted. You figure it out.
I don't know if there's gonna be like a skip or like a miss.
All right, your next juror is entering right now. All right, Sam, can you hear us?
Yep, I got you.
All right, your time starts when you start speaking.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, so congratulations. So I think in the jury chat, everyone seems to have their own kind of idea of what a winner looks like. There's a lot of debate. I want to know for both of you guys what you think a winner of Survivor looks like, and do you think you fit your own criteria for that? I'll start with Justin.
The winner looks like somebody who didn't get any votes cast against them the entire game. Somebody who was able to survive without a immunity necklace, without an idol, and was able to have people want to sit next to them at the end. I think that is what a winner looks like. A winner doesn't look like this. Someone who, just like Coach said, was the most flashiest, was the most attention grabbing. Like I feel like a winner looks like someone who played really hard and played every angle and outwitted and outplayed. And I do think I fit that criteria.
Okay, sweet. Aaliyah, same question. Your criteria for a winner of Survivor, or do you think you fit your own criteria?
Actually, that challenge that we did where we had to like do every winner or like or we had to like look at a picture of a winner and like give the winner of a survivor. I think Mira had that challenge. It was we did the candy thing. I could do the candy thing. Then you did the geography. Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I went through every single survivor winner, and they're all different. They all win differently. There's some who literally just glided to the top in the middle. There's some people who had major ups and downs. There's some people who won out. There's some people who literally lost until they got to the end. There's some people who literally were snakes, some people who were heroes. Like I don't think there's like one idea, and I mean, the jury chat is absolutely right. There's not one idea of a winner. So obviously, I would think that I fit the mold because, like, there isn't a mold when it comes to a winner. It's literally anybody could be.
okay, nice. Um, okay, Justin, what was your favorite moment in the game? Your favorite move, your favorite moment, your favorite challenge, just your top part.
I think my favorite moment was actually getting to win in a challenge. Like when I held that little ping pong, even though it was 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Um, in all the games I played, I've only won one other time before a challenge. I'm not really a challenge person. So that was like, it felt good. It felt what it felt like to actually like feel safer around. That was my favorite moment in the game. For me, I think in terms of moves, like unfortunately, bedridden you because it helped
No,
me
no.
really keep Sabrina in the game, who you knew everything Sabrina said to me was facts. So I just couldn't risk you winning and her leaving. And I think that was it.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. I respect it. We were wondering who did it, so that's kind of funny. No, I dig it though. Aaliyah, same question. What was your favorite moment, your favorite move, or your favorite part of
Um,
the game?
my favorite moment, I guess, I have two. I know that's in the question, but I have two. When I won the veto in Billy's Big Brother, like I knew I needed to win that veto. So to play that and be able to save Taco Tony, who I knew would be an ally going on, like I knew I didn't have very many, so I needed to spare the ones I had. So like I knew that Marcelo was going to end up putting Taco Tony because they had a little baby feud going on. So I knew that he was going to go up after Marcelo won. So I knew I had to win that veto and did. And then my second would be when I won final three because I knew that neither of them was going to take me to the end. So I knew that I had to win. So
Yeah.
that was everything to me.
Yeah, I dig it. I think that's all I have, unless y'all want to say anything else. But Yeah. No. Cool.
No,
No.
it was a pleasure playing with you. I really hope you
Oh
do
no,
play again
I
because
love
I would
playing with
love to
both of
play
you
with you
guys.
again. Yeah,
No, I honestly did,
yeah,
but
this was fun.
for sure. But that's all I have. So I don't know whoever's next, but
All right, you're abstaining the rest of your time, Sam.
yeah, I'm good with it.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Sam. You are free to go for the time being. Um, Sam, could you lead the call? I always sound so bad when I say that. Next up. Okay, there we go. All right, Tony, can you hear me? You're muted. Nope.
Yeah, I can. I can hear
All
you.
right, your 7 minutes starts whenever you're ready.
Yo, 7 minutes of heaven. Hey,
Hey,
okay. So congratulations, Aaliyah. Congratulations, Justin. The last time you might have seen me, I was eliminated in the final six. But now I'm here. I'm still in the game, and I'm a freaking jury member. So I still have a big. I'm giving one of y'all my vote. My mind is not made set, but it's just so cool to see you two in here. I was close with both of y'all at a certain level, and sometimes it wasn't about game. Sometimes it was about life too, catching up about life. So I'm really glad to see y'all there, and don't let the jury be bitter. And y'all deserve to be here. So let's get down to, I guess, a question. Question, and anyone can answer this first. What is your best move in this game that got you here?
I'll answer. I my best move was after I had to change my whole game, low key. I knew that I just had to keep winning, so I knew that I was very possibly going to be in the bottom after that mirror vote, and I was pushing one again. I knew that I was going to most likely be in the bottom. So when you ended up in the bottom, I knew that I had to win that veto because I knew that we were getting closer and talking more, and I knew that I needed more allies in the game. So I knew that and I told everybody this, if Tony goes in the bottom and I win that veto, Tony is not going home. And I did that. I won that challenge. I put that cookie in my mouth quick as frick, and I got you out of that bottom.
I think my best move truly was shacking up with Sean. I knew Sean right from the beginning. He was the most sociable person. Um, and player because he immediately entrusted me that like you created that Slugworth Spies with you and Joanne. Like I knew that immediately, Tony. So I knew I wanted to be with this guy. I knew he was going to have my back, tell me information, and I knew that I could use him as much as possible. So he really got me, and even to himself, he would say how he there was alliances brought to him that he would say put Justin in here instead. So I didn't even have to do the work. I had Sean do the work. And I think that was the best decision I made in this game was partnering with Sean.
Yeah, I love it. I love those answers, and just once again, congratulations. And I'm gonna have to vote. I don't want to hold you up. I know you got other jury on the way that want to ask questions. So good luck. Putting up with them and their shenanigans. So love y'all, and we're gonna have a winner and a runner up. So may the best player win.
Love you.
Peace.
Thank you, Tony.
All right, Tony, you're abstaining the rest of your time. Oh, well, okay, that's a yes. All right. Here's your next juror. Sean, are you here? Earth to Sean.
Hi, I'm here.
All
Hello.
right. Your 7 minutes starts when you're ready.
Period. First things first. Hello, divas.
Hi,
Hello.
baby.
First things first, I'm really happy for you guys. Congratulations to both of you. Um, you should be proud. Justin, I will say this now, comparing your final run with Triumph, you're doing really well in this one. So be proud of yourself. Aaliyah, you're doing amazing as your first time in Final Tribal Council. So my question is, aside from me, if it wasn't you two in the end, who would be the two jurors sitting in the end? Anyone can start.
You said if it wasn't you?
Yeah, you can't say me because I don't want jury pandering.
Okay. So I think it would be Marcelo and Sam. Like if Sam wasn't crippled in his round, I don't think there was any way that he was going home. He was winning out every challenge. He's so smart too, and like he's not threatening in the way that he's very social and like you can talk to him and it's so easy. You don't feel like he's lying to you, and he very might well be. And like that's a really good trait. And then Marcelo is like very bubbly, and it's very easy to talk about Marcelo. Again, Marcelo is literally an actor. And like so it's very easy to just like get swayed and like fall into that and then also tell all your information too. So like I could definitely see them both like winning out and masterminding and getting to the end.
I would actually I agree with Marcelo. I think that there's a reason why he won like the heart of his school and everything because he has that ability. He can convince people. He really can act. Like you talk to him and he lulls you into like a decision. He knows what he's doing. And I think the other would just be Sabrina because I see Sabrina as somebody who again was under the radar but super strong and super getting inform like well connected enough to get information from people and downplaying that. Like no one really could pinpoint 100% her loyalties. Maybe to me they could, but like not everywhere else. So I do think they could have made a run and they could have been the final two and not me and Aaliyah.
Period. Great answers. Yeah, once again, I think y'all should be proud of yourselves. Um, Aaliyah, one honestly, my word that I kept bringing up with the jury is I think your adaptability in this game is chef's kiss. The fact that you were in the bottom to the top, amazing. Justin, I want to apologize for underestimating you in this game. I know I really got cocky in our conversations with you. So keep up the best work. You guys are doing amazing. Breathe, smile, and yeah, may the best one win. Yeah, I'm done.
Right. Thank you, Sean. Your next juror is Marcelo. Marcelo, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, your time starts whenever you're ready.
Ugh, I want to be so mad at the both of you, but I'm not. I have a couple things to say. Aaliyah, I do want to apologize to you. I did think it was you that voted me at Final Four. And when I said, like, you should have told me, like, that was just me being a little testy, but I know that it wasn't you. So I do just want to apologize on that because it wasn't you. Um, Justin. Justin. Um, I just have to applaud you because I think getting me out is one of the best moves in this game. I think voting me to go to fire was a really, really good move for you. And now knowing that you are also the bedridden advantage person, plus getting me to go to fire, like I have to applaud that. So as much as I'm like, because I left that call and I was like, it was Justin. It had to be Justin. Justin probably did that. But um, my question for the both of you is why should the other person win the game over you? And we're gonna start there. So I'll start with Justin. Why does Aaliyah deserve to win the game? And then Aaliyah, why does Justin deserve to win the game?
I think Aaliyah deserves to win because it's Sean hit on it. She found her closest ally got blindsided and she found a way to go from the bottom from the top. She used that social power that she has. She has this effortless likability. Like you can talk to her forever. And she used that to her advantage and made sure that there was literally a round where her name was on the table, like I think Juan and no or with Mira actually nobody wanted to do it because she's so likable. Like she had that power to go from the bottom, from the top. She was making decisions. And even though she didn't vote correctly all the time, she still pretty much knew, besides the final four vote, what was going to happen. Like she was a strong player and she would be a great winner and a great representation for this season. Absolutely.
Aaliyah?
Um, I think Justin's like an incredible social player as well. He's like very sly in the way that he like gets everybody to like him so they trust him, and then does things to get rid of them. And then everybody around him still likes him. Like it's just a crazy thing. Like I'm like I admire that a lot, and I think that like that's how you got to the top. Like you're right, you didn't need to win every challenge, and then you still did, and like you still won a challenge, and then you still got to the top. And you're right, nobody wanted to, I don't think I think you misread that challenge. Like nobody, it's not nobody thought you were a threat. It's like everybody's like on your side. Like it was very much that, not like or people didn't think that you were threatless. It's everybody likes you, and like that's how you got to the top. And like Marcella said, like you can't even be mad. Like it's a good move. Like you played very well, and you voted correctly every single time. Never a vote on you. Like incredible.
I do want to give both of you props because Aaliyah, you only had your name written once in this game, which is impressive. Justin, you had 0 votes to your name, which is also impressive. Um, what did this game teach you as a human being, as someone who, we play these games because we want to have fun, but like, what did this game teach you anything? And if so, what was it? We'll go Aaliyah and then Justin.
Um, so before I got into orgs, I was watching my friends play orgs, and I right before I started Kaleidoscope. Before this is when I very first watched Survivor. So that was when I very first saw like what a snake was, and like I idolized them on TV. I wanted to be those divas. Parvati is my queen. Like I wanted to be that. So when I came in, I was doing that very well in Kaleidoscope. It worked for me there. Here, I tried to do that again, and it just didn't work for me like at all. So I just like switched to just like listening, and even if I knew I was gonna vote wrong, like vote wrong, because why would I vote another way? That's how I'm gonna vote. Like I I don't know. I just like was really committed to, even when people thought that I was lying, to make sure I was telling them the truth. And then if I had to lie to them, I just didn't talk to them, or I told them just enough to where I didn't have to lie. Like I just really changed the way how I viewed myself. Like I can still be myself in a game without having to play a character.
I love that. And Justin?
I think this game actually taught me that I have some trust issues and some insecurities I should probably deal with because I definitely projected my own on other people because I constantly thought people were lying to me. I thought I'd be naive to assume that they weren't. Um, so I definitely feel like I need to work on that and but also at the same time give myself and other people grace because I feel like I've been super hard on myself for playing the game and you said it all the time. This is on a game on discord.com. Like it's just what I needed to hear that a lot. And I know that's probably don't want to hear that, but I needed to hear that a lot because sometimes I got too sucked into it and I need to just take a step back and realize this is a game, it is separate, and separate the friendship versus the game. So this game did teach me a lot.
How many minutes, seconds? What do I have?
1 minute exactly.
A minute period, 60 seconds. Okay. Um, who's gonna talk for those 60 seconds? Oh, me. No. I do I do want to say I adore the both of you so much. This vote is hard for me because I did work with both of you in this game. Aaliyah, we annihilated that chocolate comp. Like I will watch that video for life. And then Justin, it was just great playing this game with you from knowing you from like outside, but like not knowing you. But I genuinely feel friendships with both of you. So I want you to know that there's no bitterness here. But I do want to like end with compliments. Aaliyah, you are incredible. You are so lovely. And speaking with you always just made a smile on my face. And I feel like you are someone who is so powerful and stands for themselves. And I just appreciate you and love you so much. Justin, I want you to know that you are just an amazing person. Don't be so hard on yourself. This shit is a game on what? Discord.com.
We're
But
not
you are
money.
such a lovely person, and I just want you to know that everything that happened in this game, like I genuinely am so thankful and I'm excited to speak with you after the game.
Sorry to cut you off, but your time is up. All right, Marcelo. Thank you. All right. Your last juror for tonight. Hello, hello, hello. Your
Hi,
time
sorry.
starts when you speak.
Okay, awesome. Well, hello. I feel like I just saw you guys the other day. Um, a little bit sad it's not a final three because then I would be with you guys. But anyways, I just have one question like specifically for Leah and then one for the both of you. So I'll just start with the one I guess for the both of you. And you can answer either or it doesn't matter whoever wants to go first. But so in games of like Survivor and kind of this type of stuff on Discord, like there are for sure elements of skill that we all see in the jury and like that you guys have talked about. But what is a moment that something lucky happened to you and you feel like you leveraged that even like more so for your game? And either of you can answer first.
So honestly, I knew for a fact that I was not getting into the end. The way that the last immunity, um, the last immunity challenge went, that honestly was the biggest luck of the draw for me. Like, because I didn't know anything about that challenge. I literally had 4 names filled in, maybe 5, maybe 6, but there was no way I was winning that with my goldfish memory. So like, I know it was really awful for you guys, and I'm so sorry that it was, but it it was really the way to get me into the final two, and like, because I knew that I wasn't gonna go. I knew I wasn't.
Luckiest moment was at the end too, Marcelo losing fire. Like I needed that to happen, and just by will, like sheer luck, he lost, and I needed that, and that was probably my luckiest moment.
Justin, I'm actually so good at that game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
No,
I mean,
I'm
I
totally,
knew that, I knew that.
I'm totally kidding. Okay, cool. And then my question for Aaliyah, and this is not like I don't want you to think I'm asking it as much as I don't care about what your answer is as much as like how you answer it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not to like give you a panic, but basically, so
Hmm.
obviously, like you had the choice to sit next to me or Justin
Hmm.
tonight, and you chose Justin. Can you walk me through like why you made that choice? And again, like I will not be offended. Like you can say whatever.
Yeah. So, like I said, so Justin and I actually started talking at the mirror, like right after the mirror vote. That's when because at the point he was on one of the only other people I talked to. Cake had gone, Mira had gone, and I was not that close. One, busy, and we did talk event like in between votes and things, but we didn't kiki really as much. So like I started talking to Justin more. So that was just like kind of a relationship there that I had at the end. But by that time, honestly, I was really irritated at the way he voted before. So it was actually very hard for me. And at the end, I was just like, they're very even, but for very different reasons. I mean, I told you this at the end, like it was very hard for me. At that time, I truly did not know. I literally was looking between you and I was just like, I do not know. But then I was just like, no, I literally told Justin if we were in this position, I would take Justin. And here we are.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you. Um, I mean, I think that's generally it. I think you guys both had such an awesome game, and like I'm so honored that I was able to play with you guys. I feel like I'm still you guys just are killing this final tribal council, and I know like all the questions that I've heard before, like you guys had such good answers. So very excited to see how this turns out. And then I guess I am conceding the rest of my time or what I don't whatever that is. I'm supposed to leave or Seb's on mute if you're talking.
Honestly, you get unlimited time.
Did I?
Maybe
Sorry,
it is a final three.
what's happening? Sorry.
Oh no, I just said that's all. Like I'm done.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear that. So
No,
you're
you're
abstaining the
fine.
rest of your time?
Yes, but yes.
All right. Thank you, Sabrina.
Thank you.
All right. So as that is all the jurors that will be speaking tonight. Justin, are you ready? All right. Your time starts now.
Well, I do want to thank everyone for their questions, and I completely understand the concern of riding coattails. But I do not think my game was riding coattails. I think I held my own. I think I made decisions that benefited me. Again, like Marcelo said, putting him to fire, huge decision and huge risk that I took. Having an advantage that I didn't tell anybody about and that I used against an own six alliance that I had, not riding coattails. I had that six alliance. Then I had the four with Marcelo, Sean, and Aaliyah. Then I had the four with the blueberries. Then I had a three within the blueberries. I had alliances everywhere. I was playing a balancing act that could have came crashing down at any moment, and it never did because of the bonds that I built and because of the work that I put in. Obviously, unfortunately, I couldn't bond super hard with every single player that played this game. And I do think that's a negative. I wish that I could just on a personal level, not even a game level. But I feel like I played a very hard, a very fast, a very concentrated game. And I think I would be a great winner. And I can see the rest of my time.
All right. You're abstaining the rest of your time. All right. Leah, are you ready? You're muted. No, Aaliyah, you're muted.
Wait.
All
Okay.
right. Your time starts when you start speaking.
Just like Justin, I want to thank everybody for all their questions. Some of them were like I definitely had to think, but most of all, it was really great to see all of you again. It felt like we were still in the game. I just want to start with I played a very strong game coming into this game. I wanted to make sure that I was on top. I stayed on top through swap and into the merge, top of the merge. I was crippled, and that changed the way that I had to play this game. I had to move with an adaptability that I never had to experience before, but it made me grow and turned me into a player that, like, honestly, like I'm proud to be now. I kept myself in a position where I could be used for other people in a place where I thought that I held the power. So that was a new experience that I think I used to my advantage. I put myself in a position where people did not want to vote for me, even though they probably should have. There were at least three occasions where I was wide open. I did not win immunity. People should have taken me out. And for some reason, they chose not to. Going into the end, I knew that I had to win my way to the end, and I did that with Final Four and three immunity. I think that I deserve to be here because I played one of the hardest games and I literally had to claw my way to the end and then take Justin with me. Like, Justin has been a wonderful opponent. He's played such a great social game. Everybody's been playing a great game, and that's why people had to go out the way that they did. And that might not have always been meistered by me, but I stood by it every single vote. Um, Getting to here to the end, I'm just so proud of the game that I've played, and that I hope that everybody can see that too. But that's why I feel that I'm your winner, and I can see the rest of my time.
All right. And with that, congratulations. FTC is over. Just for you two, I want you guys to take a couple deep breaths, go get some water. I know that FTC is a very stressful thing for you two. So here's what's going to happen. You guys are going to relax, take a deep breath. The jurors that are watching this, if you have not pre-submitted a vote and you are here, if you were here tonight now it is the time to vote. Again, I want to reiterate that you are voting for a winner. You are voting for someone to win Distortion Survivor Pure Imagination. So get those votes in as soon as possible. We're going to give you guys until 8:15. So I will set a clock for that. You guys, they'll have 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to send the link over to the jurors and the pre-jurors as well to be ready for vote reveal. And you can do any shout outs you want because we're still live.
Shout out to Dolls. I'll always shout out Dolls. I even representing. Also, shout out Jacob. That man. That man. That's all.
Shout out Quinn. I think she's actually watching for once.
You know, some special shout outs in the Dolls. Morgs, who is always with us. Nikki Doll, we love that diva. They've really kept my stress levels down. Mikey Doll, who I speak to every day and literally will listen to any crazy thing in my life. Mackie Doll, who was one of the original people who got me into orgs. Adam, Derek, these divas are my life.
How's it going?
Hey.
Oh man.
Hi.
Oh God, wait. Is that season 1 and season 9 player Lyndon? Oh, and that's Cam.
Cam's never won this game, I heard.
Cam's
Never.
Cam's
Oh my
never
God,
played Distortion.
Joanne!
Hey, hello. This feels so weird being on here, to be honest. It feels like I was in the game like a year ago.
Hey Rachel,
It's
tell Cam to
it's
apply for Distortion.
look, it's 3 winners in one screen.
I'll think about it.
Rachel,
And two
you-
eighth placers in one screen.
Yeah.
Joanne,
Two
Mom,
two
Rob,
eighth placers
Rob
and
Diva.
3 winners.
Wait, you have 3 8 places now.
Oh my God, Morgan!
Literally, my roomie, my bestie, my love.
You're really shut up.
3 eighth placers in one screen.
So what did we all learn? Wait, hold on. My lipstick looks really good tonight. Hold on.
I was gonna say, Cake, you turned it out tonight, girl.
Thank you. It is the iconic Fancy Beauty cream in the shade of Fruit Snacks. Love the formula. It's very creamy and then it dries up very nice. And it tastes like cherries.
Have you acted before, like in a Wonka bar commercial? Because you just sold me that lipstick.
Oh, I don't know. I've never acted before. This is my first time. Definitely did not win an acting challenge this season. Well, acting and branding challenge, I should say. You look lovely, Joanne.
My first question at the reunion is going to be who the hell was Judge 2? But
No, literally. Who is Judge 2?
And
No,
you guys
you're
won't.
muted.
And you guys will never get an answer on who the judges are.
I was gonna
You'll
say, who the fuck
never
is Judge
know.
2? It's Billy, isn't it?
Why
Oh,
would I?
Dime
That's
is in here?
Wait,
Oh,
was
yeah,
it Judge?
Dime.
Was
that's
it Judge
literally
Two?
rigging.
I am here.
Oh my god, Dime
Okay.
Timberlake!
Oh my gosh,
Hi,
Dime's
Logan.
here.
Hello, honeys. I am here. Yes, boo. I didn't get to meet
I
some of
missed
y'all.
Dime,
I
honestly.
know. Dime, I wanted to meet you.
Yes.
Dime,
Joanne, I also wanted to meet you.
I know,
Someone
it's
is
so weird
echoing.
that
I don't know who
Yep.
it is,
know
but
each
it's
other by
Echo.
having it
Logan.
And
I
if
think
you
it's
have the
Logan.
stream running, can you turn it off?
That's literally rigging. I am here.
Look at that cat, Logan. Holy cow.
Somebody watching this in the background.
I'm here. Yes, boo.
I missed Dime,
I
honestly.
know. Dime, I
Hey,
wanted to meet
Logan,
you.
bestie, can you please mute the stream?
Logan, you gotta turn off the stream.
Logan, can you
Someone
please
needs to
mute
definitely
the
Logan, you gotta turn off the
someone needs
screen.
to turn this thing off.
I'm gonna go to his prod chat.
It was Billy. It was Billy.
Work.
not Billy.
That might have been the funniest
It was
one.
not me.
Really?
I'm on my phone.
Billy, welcome
goodness.
against the icon.
Billy.
It's nice having you all. In all honesty, this definitely felt like the fastest season we've had in a while.
Didn't feel
Fastest? This is like, oh my
Fast.
god, the longest month of my life.
it definitely did not feel fast for me, who was the Ponderosa Queen.
It took the whole January.
Oh, I can't. I'm hoping something may get moments from the jury chat. I spent time doing something.
We will not be taking anything from the jury chat. If you want to, that's
Motherfucker! You're
no.
telling me I wasted all that time on those portraits and they didn't
You
make
can bring them out. We're not going to stop you from doing it, but we're not going to.
Motherfucker. I hate it.
We're not at liberty to share with the finalists what was in the jury house.
Oh my gosh. Can we do it anyway?
We will
I'll send it
not.
to you after the votes are revealed.
Wait.
I made portraits of all the people.
Are they like
Some were cute.
realistic?
Some were cute and some were very nasty.
Can mine be a nasty one?
No, here's the thing. I went on Facebook and Instagram for people's. And some came out really good.
Some people's were screenshots from
Zoom
PC.
Mine A. I loved mine.
I forgot about you, Marcelo, because
Cody.
Oh my gosh, the icon.
Cody, you got rocked out.
No.
I wanted it to be a little messy that round. I was contemplating what Logan said in the reunion. But ooh.
Have arrived. Did
You
y'all
look at-
miss me?
Yes, I definitely missed you.
I had to cause some chaos before I went home.
And girl, you did.
And girl, you did.
And I don't regret shit. Fuck
And
y'all.
you shouldn't.
No,
You
it's okay.
shouldn't.
It'll be all discussed in the reunion. But you look nice.
Thank you. You look nice.
Thank you.
That hair is still hairing, okay?
Always, always.
Like, okay. Yeah, it's so cold in my living room. I turned the heat up too, and it's still
I'm
freezing in here.
in this two-piece.
It's fucking freezing here.
It started snowing again today after it just cleared up. Like,
Oh, are you gonna
so
go
ridiculous?
again?
Well, no. Well, no. It's like too cold now.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh, it's like 80 degrees down in Florida.
Cries.
Too hot, honestly.
Like, maintains the negatives here.
I think everyone's.
For the finalists, Sam is like belligerently drunk, so he doesn't even know where he is right now. So
Yeah, we kind of did a drinking thing.
Yeah, y'all, we had a drinking game, and I didn't drink because I knew y'all were gonna make half these people finish.
Was I the only one following the rules? Come on.
No, I was following the rules until Aaliyah said,
the rule maker was following the rules as well.
No, for 5 minutes straight, I did not see you pick up your drink.
I was drinking.
Can we
Right.
explain the rules? What were the rules?
We'll
So-
explain the rules afterwards.
Yeah.
All I'm
To
gonna
the
say is,
alumni.
Aaliyah, you made us drink like 12 times in the first 30 seconds.
Right.
Well, what did I say?
One word in particular, and we
One
see them later.
Diva?
No.
Work?
No.
Oh, these are all really good words I should have written down.
No, because
The word was vote.
We would have just been drinking from the bottle.
Yeah.
Right.
Work, Diva.
You were like, and on Mira's vote.
It
It
was
was
like
good.
That would be 2 shots because it would be
Yeah.
her name and vote.
vote. It was like Cake's vote, then Mira's vote.
Every single time you said vote, it was like, fuck!
Sorry
I'm
about
like,
that.
fuck, can you shut up?
I was like really nervous. I'm sorry.
No, you slayed. You both slayed.
Oh my gosh, CMS so iconic. Come on, Fireball.
Work.
Hoodie's
Yeah,
name.
our roommate.
Cody, I just saw your username. That's so funny.
Oh my god, Cody. Just wait till the reunion.
What's funnier is we've had a contestant named Rock, so it could be taken as like you really hate that contestant.
You're committed now.
Yeah, you're committed.
Lock the fuck in.
Oh my gosh, hi, Seb.
Hello, everyone. I have the votes, but first, if
Damn, I
anyone
was the last
has a hidden mini idol or an advantage, no, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. If you are not Aaliyah or Justin or me, please go off camera for the moment and mute yourself. First of all, this is the last time I get to wear this outfit, so I just want to say real quick, thank you to all the pre-jurors, to all the jurors, and our final two. Thank you especially to my prod team. This would not have happened without you guys. I'm so glad that we were able to enter the new era on such a great ending and a great season. But I have the votes. Again, you want to see your name on the parchment this time. I'll read the vote. First vote is for Justin to win Distortion Survivor Pure Imagination. Second vote is for Aaliyah to win Pure Imagination. Third vote is for Justin to win Pure Imagination. Fourth vote is for Aaliyah to win Pure Imagination. Fifth vote is for Justin to win Pure Imagination. Sixth vote is for Justin to win Pure Imagination. Seventh vote is for Aaliyah to win Pure Imagination. Eighth vote is for Aaliyah to win Pure Imagination. We are currently 4 votes Aaliyah, 4 votes Justin, 1 vote left. The 9th and final vote, and the winner of Distortion Survivor Pure Imagination. Congratulations, Justin. You have won Pure Imagination. Everyone can come back on camera. And Justin, the floor is yours.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I honestly wasn't expecting that. I thought that I had like an uphill battle because I know that I had a lot of questions. People didn't know everything that I was doing, and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate the kindness and the grace that every single one of you showed me. I was expecting to get ripped to shreds, and I am so grateful and so thank you. So thank you. That's not English, but thank you. And my heart is pounding out of my chest and my butt, but thank you. I'm so happy I got to know each and every one of you. I honestly, seriously, it was so much fun, and you guys are fucking awesome. Fuck. Thank you.
And Aaliyah, we can't forget about you. Just one vote shy. Aaliyah, you have the floor.
I just want to say thank you. This was such a fun game to play, and it was really awesome to play with all of you. That's all.
You're muted.
I know that.
Embarrassing.
And with that,
Embarrassing.
I'll never have to wear this outfit again because I have sold the factory to Justin. Congratulations. I never have to step foot in that piece of crap again. So with that, the PowerPoint's good, Grace?
Yes, all ready.
All right. It is time for awards.
I can't do it.
I gotcha.
We got a lot of good awards in for you, everybody. Everybody's gonna get at least something because we have superlatives at the end, so everybody's gonna get at least one thing. So keep that in mind as well.
Did you check the prod chat side?
Sure, Nick. I don't know how that's gonna work. I think we're just gonna bounce. I'm just gonna bounce around, okay?
I'm gonna
Sounds
try
hot.
so good tonight.
Is anyone else not seeing the screen, or is it
Yeah,
just?
I just
It's
Oh,
still
Slay.
there.
Okay,
Oh,
Slay.
no, we're good. We're good.
I was getting it up, guys.
spoke too
All
soon.
right.
It was loading.
Welcome. So there's a few awards that there are two awards that Nick will do specifically because Nick always does those two awards. And if anyone on prod wants to jump in and do an award, just say. We usually think of an order, but in the meantime, I'm Sebi Wonka until the night's over. That's when the contract gets sent to Justin. So we are here with the DS10 awards, and I'm here. Oh, and I'm here to start with most iconic moment. We have two this season that were nommed. We have the final 12 rocks, and we have the final 6 just picking some of the funniest loved ones. I mean, Quinn, Eric, Morgan, Chrisanne, Billy, and I got who's the other one? I'm blanking.
Julia.
Julia, yes.
Don't ever
I need them
disrespect
all
Julia
back
like
for a
that.
future season, please.
Yeah, I need
Besides
them
Morgan,
all.
keep Morgan away, please.
But they were all so funny, so hilarious, especially like I said, Morgan, Julia, like all 6 of them really brought the iconicness, even if half of them didn't finish the puzzle. But we do have to give it to Rocks. One of the most, if not probably the most iconic moment of Distortion ever. The fact that you guys went from a very slow-paced immunity challenge that was supposed to get you guys to fight and to fight for your spot, and you guys chose to spin to a wheel, to going immediately to Rocks was just fantastic to watch. By the way, Prod, I do see what you guys are putting there, so you guys are good for those. But next up, we have best move of the season. Now, we had some great moves this season, but these are the 3 we want to specifically talk about. We have Aaliyah vetoing Tony at the final 9 Big Brother night. We have Aaliyah and Sean's control in the final 8 to get Denson out. And we have Justin's move against Taco Tony at the final 6. And the winner goes to Aaliyah and Sean's control at the final 8. Denson spent 10 rounds, number 1 in the power rankings, or in the trust rankings. 10. That means at one point or another, the tribe had put Denson number 1 to the point where even halfway through merge to the round Denson left, he was number 1. Like, and so getting Denson out was a big move, and the way that Aaliyah had thought of the move and got the move running, and the way that Sean was very bold that round to get people to do that was very impressive, and it just really like changed the dynamics because now it went from Denson being the one being voted at 1 to a couple people getting close to 1, and instead of that. Sorry, Billy, I just read that. All right, Billy, you want to talk about this though?
Just like this round in particular, like at some points, I was literally sitting in the prod chat and I was like, "Is anybody ever really gonna take a shot at Denson? He's consistently been number one in in like the trust rankings. Nobody has said a bad word about Denson." And I was really sitting there and I'm like, "When is this gonna happen?" Then this round really started and it kind of accelerated really fast into what happened and there's a lot of things that I want to talk about this, but we'll wait until like later on about this. And yeah, we'll talk later.
All right. Next up, we have with best move comes worst move. So our worst moves are Sean bringing up the shot in the dark at final 5 after it was expired. We have Coach not listening to Sam at final 8 and constantly saying he was overplaying. And we have Mira not playing her idol at final 10 when Juan specifically said he was going to play it and then did not. Some great moves, not so great moves, but we did have to give it to Sean because at final 5,
Can I talk about this one?
yeah, sure.
I was sitting on call when this happened. Sean had brought it up to Marcelo and Justin, and I immediately ran to the prod chat and went, "Isn't Aaliyah's shot in the dark expired already?" And the pure spiral from Sean just bringing it up to every single person on the tribe being terrified that Aaliyah was going to play that shot in the dark, that she couldn't play anymore, to Aaliyah just sitting there being like, "I'm not playing my shot in the dark." And that's all she said to y'all was that she's not playing her shot in the dark. Was kind of everything to me. And I lived. And Sean, I'm sorry it's at your expense, but like that was by far the funniest round to watch.
I definitely got eaten up that round. I'll be honest. It was a good one.
All right. Next up, we have best prod chat. Now, now we had a lot of discussion, but we're not talking about game when we're talking about this. We're talking about pure, I guess the word is chaos, but chaos, some great discussions, just iconic moments. And we did have to give it to 2 people because we felt that one person spent all season really being funny, and the other person unfortunately got out too early, but continued to talk in their prod chat throughout the whole time. Like Sean, you
Like
and
up to
Chris,
today.
yeah, up until today. Sean, you and Chris Ann, funniest duo. You guys really like brought it, especially when you were being a little delulu. Chris Ann would be like, "Shut up, Sean. Like you're like this is not it. Like
It's
what are
kind
you
of like
doing?"
it's kind of a joint award for the both of you.
Yeah, and then Dime was robbed. Dime was out way too early, but Dime never stopped talking in their prod chat. There were some pre-jurors who like were in there once or twice after they got voted out. Dime was consistent. There were times in the day where Dime talked in her prod chat more than players still in the game. Like we were like
I was gonna
Dime
say,
was
I was about to say, I think we got more confessionals this season
Oh my
from
God, thank
Dime
you.
than some people who made like literal, like in far into the merge at some times. And
We also gotta. Oh, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
enjoyed that so much. Just like the random, like I would enjoy waking up and seeing whatever Dime put in their prod chat because it would be like the first thing I would read.
My name
Thank
was
you.
all the TikToks that were sitting there were so
Always
funny.
kept updated on the TikToks from Dime. That is true.
Thank you. That was my blog for all. I was like, bitch, I'm using that. Y'all gonna see me today. The hell?
all right. Next up, we have best underdog, and we're gonna pass it over to Rachel and Grace.
Slay. Well, this is my personal favorite award because this was me last season when um just we had such a great time. But root dog underdogs are the most rootable characters. We gotta love it all the time. Um, and there was no bigger underdog than Sabrina. last of the blueberries to survive all of the like detriment that happened with your whole trio situation. Sorry, I'm not good at speeches. Grace can talk more, but I just wanted to pass the torch because this was me. Absolutely killed it. Had challenges gone a little bit differently, we could have seen you in the end. You absolutely fought tooth and nail to make it to the end, and I'm so proud of you. Yay.
I also want to point out you were a major underdog too, because the flu and COVID had you knocked the fuck out, and you literally came back so strong after that. And I'm like, see, that is not only from like a whole game perspective, but also the fact that you were able to do that and you were kicking it back into gear immediately. Like, definitely, that's what definitely make you an amazing underdog.
Sabrina could not catch a break this season, honestly.
Do you want to hear the funniest thing? Today at work, I got a stomach bug.
Oh my god. It's like I think the third time you've gotten sick this season.
Yeah, it's so
Jesus
bad.
Christ, Sabrina. Jesus Christ.
All right. Next up, we have best rivalry. Now, we had some low-key rivalries, we had some high-key rivalries, and we can explain more postseason if you're questioning any of them. But we have Sean and Cake, we have Marcelo and Taco Tony, and we have Marcelo and Mira. And the word goes to Marcelo and Mira. Now, let's paint a picture real quick, okay? So we get to OG Strawberry. The game starts. There's a 4-person chat made. All the strawberries minus Mira and Marcelo. There's a chat made with Mira where Mira throws out Marcelo's name. There's a chat made with Marcelo where Marcelo throws out Mira's name. They bring this into the swap. They bring this into the merge. Every round there was mention of Mira or a mention of Marcelo, and it came from the other person. And there wasn't any direct fighting. Like there was no like Mira's coming at Marcelo screaming or Marcelo's going to scream at Mira. Like it was purely behind everyone. Like, hey, what should we do tonight? Oh, well, we should do Mira because I haven't spoken to her. Or let's do Marcelo because I want to stick OG Strawberry, but like Marcelo's not in that group with us. Like it was very that like it wasn't like beef, but it was like a rivalry that like we were watching in real time to the point where like when Marcelo was like when they were like when you guys were like, oh, we're gonna leave Marcelo out of the vote again when you guys were trying to blindside Juan. Marcelo heard Mira, and like 2 seconds later, Marcelo's like, I'm on it. Let's do it. It's time to get Mira out. So, but I thought this was a really funny rivalry because it wasn't personal and it wasn't like you guys like weren't like arguing. In fact, you guys barely spoke to each other at times in the game. So it was very funny to like to be able to see that in real time. But that's what you guys got best rivalry.
I think my
And
favorite. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I still remember after because Marcelo kept talking about I want Miragon, and then Mira gets voted out, and Marcelo's like, finally, what I've been wanting the whole time.
So it is another me and Keslin thing. These motherfuckers out here being like, I need her gone the whole game, and I have no idea.
No, there was a point where I was told that there was an OG Strawberry Alliance without me, and I was like so heated for like 5 minutes. And then I looked at my Alliance chat and I was like, wait, there's an OG Strawberry chat without Mira. Like, why am I freaking out?
Y'all went fucking crazy this season with alliances. Like, honestly, it was fucking ridiculous. Like, I think at the end
Yeah.
of, I think, Seb, can I say the number?
Yeah, you can.
Any guesses on how many alliances there were this season?
25.
You're close.
69.
27 alliances. And quite literally, I think, I would say about 15 of them were made in the first 2 rounds of merge.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it was around that. I remember everybody kept requesting chats, and I'm like, oh my goodness,
And the
like
thing is, it would be like
there's
one
so
right
many
after another.
alliances,
Can
and
I
I
have a chat
counted
with
all of
this?
them.
It was literally like, can I have a chat
I-
here? And then
I
5 minutes
got a
later, can I have
question.
another chat?
Who was in the most alliances?
That was Miss Aaliyah with I think about I had the numbers somewhere.
It
I think
was like 13.
I think it was close to 12 to 13 alliances Aaliyah was in.
All
Hold on.
right.
Let me get you to the actual number, but
Well, and we'll
we'll do it later.
while you do that, we move on to best duo. Now, every rivalry is there, but every duo is forever. I just said that. I don't think that's a true statement, but these three duos really proved that they were tight. They called. They were on calls. We want to give a special shout out to Sabrina and Justin. That was a very late game duo, but it was not a one that we put here. That being said, best duo this season goes to Sabrina and Denson. Now the beginning of your duo was a little weird because you guys would go into conversations and be like, I want to work with you, but we'll see how this goes. We'll work with you. Like, it would be very much like, okay, well, Sabrina's who I trust the most, but like that could change at any time. Or like, and you guys would say that in your conversation. The minute merge hit, you guys were locked. Like, it was very much like a blueberry like duo with Sam with you guys, and it really worked out for you guys. Not in the long run, but it worked. It worked for you guys in the beginning of the merge, even going into like the swap too. Like it worked wonders for you guys to keep you guys safe. So, but yeah. Anyone else want to speak on this one?
There were a lot of duos this season. I will say
Yeah.
there were a lot of duos, but what ended up happening was with a lot of the duos, there was always some sort of miscommunication that caused the breakdown. There really was never that miscommunication between Coach and Sabrina, and that's kind of why this was duo of the season.
Peace and love to the others. Y'all were my favorite to watch.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as a two-time duo of the season winner in this series, I love myself a duo, and y'all really showed out this season. Everyone was so fun to watch. The calls that I would hop on, specifically Justin and Sean calls, were just hilarious. So all around great time. Love you all. We'll be duos with any of you anytime. Great.
All right. Next up, we have Best Alliance. Now, as we said, I don't know, Billy, what's the number?
27.
27 alliances. So it's very hard to choose. But these three specifically really it made us like not only were they really strong in the game, but like we were very happy to open that chat and go, okay, like they're talking. Let's go hop on a call with them. Okay, they're talking. Let's go hop on a call with them. So we have the backseat drivers, which was Coach, Justin, Sabrina, and Sam. We have the council, which was Aaliyah, Justin, Marcelo, and Sean. And then we have the iconic six, which was Coach, Justin, Marcelo, Sabrina, Sam, and Sean. And the best alliance this season goes to the council. Now, the council had a strong hold on the late game, mid to late game. I mean, from Denson to Sean to Tony, or not Sean, from Denson to Sam to Tony, they had like pure control of the round. And it wasn't until, like, as previously mentioned, when they had to kind of start turning on each other, was when the council, separated. But for those 3 rounds, they were the strongest and probably the most loyal to each other alliance in the merge. Like we mentioned before, there were 12 to 13 alliances that were, or there were like so many alliances that were made the first 2 rounds of merge that were very just like 1 to 2 conversations, never talked in again. 1 to 2 conversations, never talked in again. But these 4 spoke out those 3 rounds and worked together really well. So, but anyone on Prod else want to talk about this?
I was about to say, I think this is like the only alliance that really stuck together end game wise, and that's kind of why this is kind of where it's at. Like a lot of the earlier alliances, like they stuck together, but obviously like the creation of the council kind of was the demise of the other 2 alliances that were made in that final 3 best alliances or whatever. So that's why it kind of gets the nod.
I think my favorite part of the council calls, specifically towards the end, is y'all would go on those calls and then each individually call every single other person one on one and be like, I didn't trust this person on that call. Let's make a plan to get them out. And it literally happened to all 4 of you at one point or another. I don't think it happened to Justin, but I think it happened to Marcelo, Aaliyah, and Sean. And it always made me giggle every single time. And then you guys would hop back on that call and act like everything was fine.
All right, next up, we have most robbed pre-juror. Now, these three pre-jurors not only showed potential in the pre-merge, but showed potential going into, or pre-juror, they showed potential going into the merge and potentially the jury. But I mean, like, I'm so sorry to the two who didn't win, but this has to go to Cody. Cody went out in, like we said, the most iconic, rotted, chaotic round in distortion history. Literally 2-2 to 1-1-1, with two idols being played and the glass elevator button. And by the end of it, there were only 5 people eligible. And Cody was in a good spot. Once we released the trust rankings for that round, like that round and the round before, like Cody was like number 2 for a lot of people, number 1. Like Cody was in a good spot going into the merge, but it's just, rocks are unpredictable. And just, I mean, Cody said it himself, he fucked around and found out. But I think if Cody survived that round, I don't know how much further he would have made it because people were clocking him, but at least he made it to that point and would have been able to play his game without having to worry about the live night being able to survive. But other prod.
This was so funny to me, just personally for me, because I literally messaged Cody because he wasn't answering Discord, and through Zoom I was like, "Hey, you have an advantage. You have to play it now if you're going to." And he's like, "Nope, keep it in my pocket." And he said it in the main chat instead. So I was like, "Oh my God, I don't know why he said that in the Zoom chat." And then that happened. I was like,
Literally, after that rock draw happened, we knew, like, yeah, no, we've never seen someone so robbed in the pre-jury phase like that, the way that Cody was. Because it's like, not only he like getting rocked out, yeah, that's gonna definitely make you an extremely robbed person, but also Cody had like some substance going on in the game. And that would have been, I think this game would have been so much different had he not gotten out there.
I also think that, like, in comparison to last season's Rocks, like last season's Rocks was everybody being like, I'm not voting for anybody else. Like, this is where I'm voting. Whereas this season's Rocks was more of like kind of the exact opposite, where everybody was like, I have no idea where I'm voting. And so I'm just going to vote for somebody and hope that it sticks. And that being the way Cody went out, kind of like a little bit crazy.
All right, next up we have most robbed juror. Now we're going back, or we're going moving forward, and we have Coach, Marcelo, and Juan. All went, 2 of these people. Coach went out in a regular round. Marcelo went out in fire. Juan left out in Big Brother night. But we have to give it to Juan. Like same circumstances as Cody. Left in an unusual round live night, and especially with the circumstances, like with Marcelo's plan going in to nominate one of 3 people to go, and for the one person who unfortunately could not play his advantage that night to go, especially because he had the merge idol, so he could have played that until 5. So it was a really tough pill to swallow for us to see someone who we thought was in a decent to good position get out so early, especially since preseason we predicted Juan to go pretty far. Anyone else, Brad?
The unfortunate member of the Billy's Big Brother night. You know how it goes. Someone in a good position, they make the move. Sorry.
Right. Next up, we have Hero of the Season. I'm going to pass that off to Grace.
Hello. So this is my award because I have to be the absolute sweetest person when I play, and yeah. So of course I gotta present this one. But hero of the season. So this person, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know what to expect of them when I first saw them getting ready to play this game. And when I literally kept watching the whole time, literally someone who I feel is so genuine in everything that they do, and that includes the way that they played this game and the way that they just carried themselves. And it even got to a point to where on their way out, they kept going around asking Prod, is it fine if I vote? Or like, I wish I can vote for myself. That there, I definitely shows that true heroic characteristic there, because and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna take that fall right there. But this person literally has such a sweet, kind energy, and that also what it captures a hero as well, especially when these games get so stressful. It's so nice to have them around because it just creates a very like nice mood. But yeah, so with that being said, our hero this season is Sam.
Right.
Anybody on Pride want to speak?
I'll speak. So, yeah, Sam, you are our newbie. We didn't know much about you, if anything, about you. Usually when we ask for like Facebooks in the application, it's because we want to get to know like just the basic info that's on your page, like who you know, who you don't know, and that kind of stuff. And then in the application, you were like, "Well, I deactivated it." So I was like, "Oh, we literally know nothing about Sam. Like this is blind." But what your interview was like, we thought it was good. And coming into this again as a newbie, it's always stressful. But you played this game really gracefully. I think that when people were speaking to you, you were very kind with them. I think that you played the game like as I don't want to say clean, but I think you played it as clean as you can. Like I think that when people spoke about you, it wasn't, "Oh, I want Sam out because we don't talk," or "I don't like him." It was, "I want Sam out because he won 3 comps already." It was, "I want Sam out because he's a threat." Like, and like even like to Grace said, like like when Sean was like, "Yeah, I'm voting you out tonight," you were like, "Okay." Like you weren't mad, you were nonchalant, and you, like we said before, you were even like, "Can I just vote myself?" And that's to me is like what a hero says. But I'll let other people on prod speak.
I'll say on it is with peace and love to the rest of the cast, there was multiple points in this game where I went in the prod chat and said, there's no chance in hell I'd want to play with any of these people. Not a single point in this game did I ever say that about Sam. I actually said the opposite about Sam. I have said multiple times, throw me into a game with Sam as soon as possible, please. And I think that kind of just encapsulates the type of player that you are.
Yeah, Nick wants to corrupt you.
And do.
I will say with Sam, they couldn't find any blemishes socially for you. They couldn't find any blemishes strategically for you. So I had to call you out on the one thing that you were good at out loud, and that was immunity comps. And we all know we don't go after other people in this community for immunity comps, but for newbies, it's all they care about. So, as you play more and more games, which we hope you do, you'll find that winning comps really doesn't matter in most games.
It's fun though.
All right. Next up is to opposite the heroes. We have the villains.
My favorite.
And oh my god, wait. This looks very familiar. Is this Menage a Trois? You three really brought it. Like, you guys were very strategic, and I think that, just used a word tonight. I think the word is cutthroat, and I think the three of you were willing to do whatever it takes to get
Now you're
far.
stealing my award.
I wasn't gonna go out. I was just saying my thing. Go, whatever. I'll shut up.
As some of you know, Rachel specifically, I love to play a very villainous game. I'm like a sweet little angel, but sometimes angels even have to be a little bit devious. With that being said, the three of you by far were the most devious players in this game. There were a lot of moves in this game, a lot of things said in this game that even I, as a villain, would not have said or done. With that being said, one of you definitely took the cake over the others. That was a very bad play on your our villain of the season is Sean. Um, Sean,
Period.
you definitely over everybody played so villainously to the point that even somebody in your project had to multiple times be like, Sean, calm the fuck down. It's never that deep. And so I think if the podcast that you chose is telling you to calm down, that should show the level of your villainy.
I think. Oh, sorry. I'll just say this thing I'll say this thing real quick. You choose your project guests to just support you blindly, but like the way that you, I wouldn't say like spoke to people, but the way that you were very meticulous with the way you said things to people, and it we were on prod like, oh my God, like if I had to play with Sean, I wouldn't. Like it was, but like it worked for you for the long haul. You were like one of the more bolder players in the merge, and that villainy really aided to it. So I'll let Billy talk.
Um, I don't really know how to like say what I have to say. I mean, sometimes it was just like it wasn't like villainy on purpose. Like I don't think you said anything with like malice or like anything with like true like but sometimes I'd go into your chats and I'd be like, "Sean, you shouldn't say that to somebody. Sean, shut your mouth. Sean, stop it." Like it wasn't mean, but like sometimes you'd be like saying like, "Oh, if I was in the final two, I'd definitely do this." Or like some stuff like that and it's like the other person on call is sitting there like I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this.
Like when you told
I
Marcelo
think
that Justin would be a zero vote finalist in the
I also think the level of confidence in which you
Yes.
spoke about your own game to everyone left in the game, despite not having safety. Like there was nothing protecting you, and you're like, I just have absolutely played the fuck out of this game, and I'm gonna beat every single person here. And like I've just been running circles around you people, even to Justin, who's literally like with you and like would probably have never done anything against you, and you're like, oh, and I outplayed the fuck out of you, and I just dragged you here, and like I,
I'm gonna turn the jury
why?
against you if you vote for me.
Yeah, just
I don't think I ever said that,
A villain game is fun as
but it's nice to be the
But yeah.
villain of the season because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna rip that from Cake's hands because I know she wanted it and I did it. But also, I was really like, this game really changed me because in past games, I usually get nominated for villain, and I was like, let me go into this one and actually want to be a villain and be the snake that people tell me I am, and did.
And we're
Right. Next up, we have physical player, which we'll give to Rachel.
Hey, it's me again. If you can't tell, I won a lot of awards when I played this game twice. I love me a physical player. You guys absolutely killed it in the physical game. Sam, literally all of your comp wins when you've literally never played a game before. Aaliyah pulling out absolute clutch victories. Sean, I honestly don't remember what you won, but you won something because you're up here. Slay. um, our physical player of the season has to go to Aaliyah. You ate this up. We literally like every single round. I was like, oh, Aaliyah's like maybe gonna go home now, and then you're like, no, and you're like, oh, Big Brother, veto. Oh, another round where I'm on the bottom. Oh, I'll just win safety. Like it's fine. And like honestly, the most impressive part of all of it is like some of them. I feel like you won without even like trying. Like the circle comp, like you literally were just like every round, I'll just vote this random person because I don't know who to vote, and we'll just pick someone random, and then they still didn't vote back for you. Like it was actually insane. Your mist, your power, physical queen, we love.
Right. Next up is social with Billy.
Yeah. Throughout my time in this org community, I came in as a game bot, but I've mellowed out and definitely have become more of a social player. So I know I can appreciate a social player a lot more than what I used to do. This cast was extremely social. Like it gave me Gabon levels of social in terms of just everyone talking to each other whenever they felt like. I'll explain later, because I know Denton just gave me a side eye. But I think that these three players played the shit out of the social game, and any of you guys would be super great reward for this. But the winner is, come on, it's got to be Coach. Seb stole my line earlier when we did that. Denson was literally the top of the power rankings, not the power rankings, trust rankings. Sorry, for 10 consecutive rounds. You know how difficult that has to be for someone to be trusted by, and it wasn't just the merge or just the swap. It was the first original tribes, then the swaps, then the merge. So it had to be playing with new people that he hadn't met before, and then having them rank him high, and then go into the merge with all that chaos and him still being ranked super high. So yeah, until your inevitable demise, you clock the shit out of the social game, and it was fantastic to watch, honestly.
So you're telling me these rankings don't eventually impact? There's not going to be a challenge for these rankings. That was my conspiracy theory the entire game.
No, there was never going to be a challenge. We do it to see, because let's be honest, a lot of you guys sucked at giving confessionals. So this was kind of our only way of seeing exactly how you guys felt about each other half the time.
Yeah, and also too, it just gives like weird, yeah, like what Billy said, where things are, and it kind of gives more of an insight. And also too, we see what happens in the chats and everything, but also who knows how you truly feel unless you do that trust ranking.
I think there was a point in this game where I think it was at final 10 or 11, where Coach's average trust ranking was 1.33, which means more than the majority of the tribe ranked him at 1, which is fucking crazy. Um, but I just think that alone goes to show the kind of grasp Coach had on the social aspect of this game.
All right. Next up, we have strategic player of the season. That is going to Benji.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So strategic player, someone who has thought many countless steps ahead to pivot themselves into the best position of the game. Our nominees are Sean, Justin, and Aaliyah. I'll get right into it. I think it goes without saying, our winner for strategic player of the season is Justin, our season 10 winner. Getting to watch you and to see your process and the way you spoke with people, the way you spoke in your prod chat about how you were maneuvering through this game, and getting to see that on top of that being played so well was something that I really, really enjoyed watching. Definitely something that speaks to me as well. I try to be as social and strategic as possible. But seeing you getting to see your game overall was something really, really exciting. I heard nothing but great things about you, and then to see you execute that to the best way possible, was chef's kiss. So congratulations.
Yeah, so I think that the way that Justin played his game was very sneaky, very slimy. And I guess I know slimy in the personal way, but slimy as in a snake, as in Justin was able to maneuver this game pretty well. He was able to get to this point with 0 votes to his name. All well, like you said, it's not just obtaining the information, but using that information to excel and push the game forward. And I think that's what Justin did really well in this game.
Yeah. I think having 0 votes to your name and voting correctly every single round except for rocks is insane and speaks to the strategic power that you had in this game. So
I was going to say the same thing as Rachel.
that's insane. So respect.
I just want to say there were so many rounds that I sat there and thought to myself, because I would see Justin talking to people and then things start blowing up. And I would think to myself, how is Justin not being caught at all? Which was wild.
I think there were a few rounds, more than a few rounds, where production as a whole was like, I think I would go after Justin here. And then Justin would have one conversation with somebody, and that person would have a conversation with other people, and all of a sudden Justin's name is never even an option.
I don't think Justin's name was ever seriously considered for a vote. Like when I say seriously considered for a vote, I mean like seriously, like someone said, I'm voting him. Like I think the closest to that was what, Final Four,
I
maybe?
think 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. And that was immediately snuffed.
I was gonna say it was only from Aaliyah, like the other
Yeah,
two
that
were
was
not
it.
considering it. So wild miss. Your miss is stupid. As someone who was a victim of it before.
All right. Next up, well, it's player of the season. So these have been accumulated through, I'm just going to say a little blurb because I know Nick wants to go in. But these are accumulated based on how we viewed you on the social, physical, and strategic. This is the person that we felt had the best total package.
Hi, everyone. As a two-time winner of Player of the Season in Distortion, I feel like I know what it takes to be Player of the Season the best. I think all three of you guys played phenomenally. But if I'm being honest, when I look at the physical, social, and strategic aspect of it, for me, there's only one person that this could be, and that person is Aaliyah. Aaliyah's physical game, this game was like kind of fucking crazy. Her strategy, while Justin's I do think was better, Aaliyah's strategy is not to be messed with. Um, the fact that going into Billy's Big Brother, she was probably going home, and then her ability to talk to people and climb her way back up to the top is insane. Um, Justin's miss is crazy, but you're also not to mess with Aaliyah's miss.
I think for me, and this is the reason why this was so easy to do. Like this is one of the words we didn't even think about. In all honesty, was just because it was what you did with your immunities and comp wins that mattered. Like specifically, you knew, hey, I'm on the bottom, Billy's Big Brother night. What am I gonna do? The house wants to get rid of Taco Tony. Nuh-uh. We're gonna make them actually go after somebody who actually made an impact in this game or can make an impact in the future. And said, I'm vetoing Taco Tony. I'm gonna make them put up Juan, and we're gonna get rid of the idol. Like, and that changed that quite literally made right from that moment, it flipped you from where you were at the bottom of last round, literally to the top of where we were. And you'll see that in the power rankings as well.
Yeah, like that. It was so. But I remember just sitting there watching the Billy's Big Brother night happen because Marcelo went HOH, and we're like, yeah, Marcelo's not going to put Aaliyah up. But the fact that you took Tony down with that veto, I feel that definitely created your longevity in this game for sure. But you are definitely an extremely well-rounded player. You did so good at all three aspects. And also, I just want to say too, this final two was the most competitive final two that I've seen, and you both were amazing.
Yeah, we really didn't know who was gonna win. And it was like super refreshing because we've had a lot of final tribal councils to where we've gone into it and said, oh well, we kind of know what's happening already. But quite literally we didn't know what was gonna happen until we confirmed all the votes.
Yeah, this was probably my favorite FTC.
Right. Next up is Rachel's host fave. Rachel's here. So
Hey, y'all get to listen to me talk again. I had to fight quite a few people to get this person. That's my host fave. I as this award is hard for me because I know so many of y'all and made so many of y'all play this game. And I didn't want to pick any of you guys because it's like picking between my children. But one person came into this game and I had no idea who the fuck they were and what they would bring to the table. And I had more fun in their pod chat than probably anywhere else. Like I would open Discord and be like, what's happening in this chat today? And it was just an absolute blast. So my prod fave is Sam. Literally just the content is top tier and just the most random shit in the prod chat. Like we would be like just having a whatever conversation and then just get like random Sam lore, like the fact that this man is a quadruplet, which is the most just absurd thing that I've ever heard in my life, or like the daily crosswords, or sports lore. Mike Evans, bestie, you killed the season. Absolutely loved watching you play. Please never stop playing these games, even though nobody should be playing orgs in 2025 because that's so embarrassing. But yes, absolute pleasure to meet you in this game. Very glad you were here.
I just want to add my little bit. Sam, I said earlier, you're amazing. Thank you for coming back or coming and playing your first game. Now, before we move on, I just want to ask you a question, Sam. Sam, who got you to apply?
I've known one person since kindergarten. Joanne? I don't know.
We figured that out so fast, and we're like, "Yep, separate tribes."
You better work.
Yeah,
You better
so
work.
so when Sam applied, like I said, his Facebook was deactivated, but I was able to find it. I'm a sleuther. And I was like, oh, one mutual friend? It's Joanne. She applied like 2 days ago. And so we had to like confirm with them. We were like, you guys didn't like apply together just to play. And Sam's like, I just want to play. So, but it was fun, and like I mean, unfortunately, Joanne left too early for to see what the impact could have been. But I just think it's a fun little tidbit, and I just wanted to see everyone's shocked faces. All right. Anyone else for Sam?
Yes.
I love Sam so much. Top tier human.
Thank you.
Sam, don't leave the community, please.
Oh, appreciate it.
Also,
Please, for the love of God, don't leave this community.
Honorable mention for my host, Fave to Coach. I have never interacted with you in like any space, even though we have so many mutual friends and communities that we've played in. And you have been an absolute pleasure to like watch in this game and are just like such a wonderful human. And I struggled making this decision, but you were right up there.
It's all right. I'm fine. Thank you.
All right. Next up is Jen's host Fave, and Jen sent a blurb to Grace. So act like Grace is Jen.
Hi, yep, she did send me a blurb. So Jen said she absolutely adores this person and loved getting to watch them play and see how their mind works. She said this person always brings 110% and you always light up a room. Thank you for being such a joy to watch this season. And that person for Jen is Marcelo.
Word.
Yeah, just to add a little bit because Jen's not here. As we've talked about with Marcelo, we unfortunately altered him in season 3, and we do count it as one of Distortion's worst mistakes. But maybe now we put it as one of Distortion's best because you absolutely crushed it this season. You absolutely gave us the entertainment, and I know I don't like talking about last time I got to host you wasn't great. So this time was amazing.
Marcelo always reminded us that this is just a game on discord.com.
On discord.com.
I was also because I did say because Marcelo was talking about being altered the other day, and I said, I said in this pod chat, I have an opinion, but I'm gonna wait until reunion. That opinion is, even though that was the worst mistake we made back then, I feel this cast was so much better for you.
I repeat, thank you for that mistake, Marcelo. Thank you for that mistake.
All right. Next up, we have Benji's host fave.
Pause for Mike because I just sent this to Prod. Um,
We got Benji chose Seb as his favorite.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my God. So now that I'm sure I can hear y'all. Um, so my prod favorite was also not an easy decision. There were plenty of you to choose from. For me, throughout my history with Distortion, this by far has been, for me personally, one of the most entertaining seasons. I've gotten to sit back and watch all the fucking chaos and the messiness. Um, but my or my host favorite, um, goes to someone that um, day in and day out has shown nothing but passion. Um, and I loved getting to see this person's content in their prod chat to break down to the very microscopic levels of why things were happening or why they were doing or how they were feeling. And again, very awesome to connect with and watch. Coach, you are my host favorite. Getting to play with you is one thing. I am happy that I've gotten to play, be decimated by, and now get to watch you from the sidelines. You brought everything that I knew to expect and then some. I've also heard nothing but great things about you from when we played Kaleidoscope to now. Even though this time was not your time, I am just very proud of seeing how you play, and I hope you continue to play, and I hope we get to play again soon.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my little blurb to that is just we've harassed Jensen enough to play, so glad it came now.
Uh, I uh, I was double dipping this entire time. So there'd be a lot of times where I'd be afraid that like Justin knew, but like I was afraid that like it would become like a thing. So like I am glad that I did enough that people like didn't think I was just kind of not here. So thank you. I really appreciate that.
That's you double dipping. I'm really terrified to know what it is for you to not be double dipping.
All right. Next up is Nick's host fave.
God, hi, hello. Okay, my host fave. I wanted to pick somebody that I didn't have a lot of interaction with prior to this season. Um, Not necessarily that I didn't know, but when I saw this person on the cast, I don't believe I have had any interaction with them. Um, and watching their journey throughout the season, I like platonically fell in love with them. Like they are such an amazing human being. And one thing that I really, really, really respect about these games are people who persevere. And honest to God, love all of you. Love anybody I've ever played with, but and seen play, but I don't think anybody has ever had any real life struggle, real life, like through sickness, through personal challenges. I just find that this person is an amazing human being, and the fact that they stuck it out with us throughout all of that goes to show how much perseverance they have as a human being. And I just really, really respect and love them. So my host favorite is Sabrina.
Nick stole this one for me, so just
And
keep that
did.
in mind.
And I stand
Aw,
on that.
thank you.
I just, like I said before, I think as a human being, like I think I respect you more than most, love you all, but the amount of stuff that you went through in this game and how you've always kept your head up and remained positive is something to be very appreciative of as a prod member. And I just really, really, really appreciate you. Also, watching you and your boyfriend do that comp was my favorite part of this entire game. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
It was nice to go back and watch.
No, Sabrina's an icon. I can't say any more nice things about her. All right, next up we have Billy's host fave.
Yo, so this season was super funny to me. I'm always someone who always says like I value someone who can be truly themselves, so like out front and positive, so like just naturally funny, and honestly super unlucky because I've always found myself to be that unlucky person in this game. In any game that I've ever played, I found myself rather super unlucky. So go ahead and reveal it and I'll explain. Mr. Cody, you were probably one of the most unlucky people in this game, and especially by a rock draw. I mean, it was super iconic to go out that way. You were never voted out, so you joined that club too. Um, but genuinely, like you were such in a strong position, even if you were starting to get like, hey, Cody's messy, Cody's messy, Cody's messy. But the problem is nobody really put the dots together until after you were eliminated by rocks when you had no chance to defend yourself. So we really don't know what could have happened if you were able to get in people's ears just like that. I was really hoping you were going to play your advantage and it would have hit. However, things don't happen that way. Keep your phone out because we may be requesting a return from you sooner rather than later.
Appreciate it.
Next up is Grace's host fave.
It's my turn. Anyways, I'm gonna preface by saying, you guys all know I love and adore y'all so much. Every single person that was on this cast was just so amazing to watch. But this person, I have always, ever since they have stepped foot in the community, I've always been so fascinated with them and kind of watching them previously. I was like, okay. And then seeing their act here, I was really excited. And then I got to actually meet this person. And it was literally such an amazing day. It was so much fun. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be, I think this is going to make the season a lot of fun having them here. And it did just that. And I just genuinely think that this person is just a very genuinely sweet individual. And watching them go from being in a bottom position to getting themselves back after losing all of the people that they were close to or falling out with them, and the fact that they managed to be as adaptable as they were, and watching that whole thing go down was so just it was amazing to watch. I absolutely loved it. And also making a couple jokes in their prod chat was really funny as well. But yeah, so my host favorite, let's see, go ahead and reveal, is my girlfriend, Aaliyah. Tanika, I'm fucking sorry, by the way, and you can deal with it. She's mine.
My love.
Yeah, I
I'm
would have.
speaking on this one. Sorry, Seb. I'm speaking on this one.
Okay.
Aaliyah Marie Jennings. I know that's not your middle name, but I love you so fucking much. You are such a star. You are literally such a star, and I am so proud of the way you played this game as your blood sister. Not really, but as your blood sister.
Really though.
I'm so happy that I get to share a placement with you. I know it's not the journey you wanted for yourself, but I could not share a placement with somebody as more iconic, honestly.
I love you, babe.
Yeah, legally I couldn't pick you. I have someone who lives 10 minutes away who'd beat my ass if I did.
And also, well, you're the reason she's my girlfriend in the first place, because you still take that.
Okay, anyways.
That is how that went down.
Next up is my host fave. Now, when I usually pick host fave, I try to pick people like I think the game bot of me picks the gamer. I think that's who I usually gravitate towards. This season, I did try to pick someone that I didn't know. So like my two honorable mentions would have been Mira and Sean, but I did know them prior to the season. I tried not to pick people I did know, but I think that this person, I'm not a big guy, I'm not a big call person, as you guys probably noticed. I will hop on calls if I'm requested, or if I see that a lot of prod members are telling me there's something good happening. Every time I hopped on this person's call, though, it was so out of pocket. Like, I think that they are a when I talk about people I pick because of game, they played a great game, but I'm not picking them for their game. I'm picking them because they like to microwave their chicken or their turkey or whatever in the microwave. I picked Justin on the pure fact that, like, my God, every call I went on, you said something, and I just went, "What?" Like, no, like you're a walking like this is a walking troll. Like, there's no way the things that are coming out of your mouth are true. And then you're like, no, like I actually do that. I microwave my chicken. Like, that's crazy. Like,
It was
there's
something
other
like, yeah.
there's other stuff. There's other stuff as well that I'm not gonna say on call, but I just don't know. But I really did appreciate the humor. And like I said, like, ignoring that, I think you played a great game, and I'm super glad. I mean, this like, I don't know you before this season, but I remember when we hosted Jonathan all the way in season 3, being like, "Oh yeah, I have a friend Justin who would love to play Distortion." And then when Jonathan played 7, you were in his prod chat, and now we're full circle, and you've won Distortion. So, but that's why you're my favorite. I'll stop talking.
I do feel like there was so much that was said that has to be unsaid, and I don't want anybody to bring it up on this call. You know exactly what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Keep it to yourselves. But some of the like, I would like wake up one day and I would go into Justin's chat, and then suddenly we're talking about like air frying something that shouldn't be air fried, or microwaving a steak, or like just stuff that like should not be like like mayo level opinions of stuff that should not be happening to food. So I do feel bad for anything that Justin eats, but it's okay.
Justin, there were multiple times in this game where my immediate thought was, how has this man survived this far into adulthood? Um, and but I do think that goes to show how personable of a human you are. I think you're just a very, very bright light in this community, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And for the record, have never microwaved my chicken.
I
I
can
think
say that I
maybe.
feel like that's such a lie. I
Allegedly.
remember us having this conversation while I was cooking. You
Hold on,
definitely.
I literally walked
it's
into
in
a
your it's
conversation we
in
were
your
talking
thing
about.
somewhere. Hold on, I'm gonna go look in
Yeah.
your
Okay,
chat real quick.
okay. Well, you guys do that. We don't have a slide for it, but the after show did want to pick a favorite. So the after show has chosen
Hold on, hold on,
Don.
hold on, hold on.
They've what?
I didn't get
What?
them to announce it live.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're with them.
Wait, what
We
am I?
have we have
After show fave.
Okay, so after show favorite, we all decided a few minutes ago that it's gonna go to this person who was unjustly taken out of this game so early, and they're so funny and still maintain a great prod chat. So after show fave goes to Dime. Dime. Queen.
Oh,
I second that. Two-time winner fave.
two-time winner.
But yes, we don't have a slide for that. But next up is pre-jury superlatives. Now, if you don't know, Grace does superlatives for everyone. And so we're gonna go one by one, and Grace is gonna explain why you've received that superlative. So Grace, just let me know when you're ready.
I am going to reveal the
All
first
right.
one. Giraffes, the pre-jury bride winner, because Giraffes was collecting those coins from all those people getting voted out of the game, and was also eating a sandwich, which has Reddit in their intro video. Next up, we have Joel, the almost missed opportunity. So here's the story behind it. So we were 2 days away from the season starting, and we realized we're trying to get our videos and stuff all together. Where the fuck is Joel's materials? Where's his picture? Where's his action shot? Where's his intro video? We literally thought we were gonna have to go and recruit someone to be the last person because he was not responding to us. And then out of nowhere, he's the next day. He was like, "Oh, I'm here. I'll send in all my stuff." So literally, he literally scared us for a second. Literally freaking scared us. Dime, the JT baddie, because not only is Dime a blueberry baddie, but she is the Justin Timberlake wifey. Next up, we have. This one's. Oh, go ahead. What?
I was gonna say Dime joined this Zoom today as Dime Timberlake, so.
And this is my favorite one that I made. So the Everybody on Mute challenge. For those of you who paid attention to the Renaissance World Tour and have listened to the song Energy, on the tour there was a challenge where after Beyonce says everybody on mute, the whole stadium has to be quiet. And this was Joanne right before she got voted out.
Yeah, Joanne was on vocal rest the round that she left, so she literally couldn't talk to anyone, to the point where when she was voted out, we were like, you could type something, and we just sat there for 2 minutes and waited for the message. But
So embarrassing.
all right, next up.
Logan, the sassy cat, because not only does Logan have all of his cats, Logan, you know something that really shocks me. So before this, like a few years ago, I always found you to be this extremely kind person, and so just level, like so calm, and literally like, yeah, you're kind of in a like in a kind of that mode, and you still are a sweetheart. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't realize how much sass you had. Some of your comments that you would say were so like literally so sassy, and they was like like all of us would be cracking up because you would say something with no filter. We're like, dang,
Yeah,
like this.
Yeah, there was 2 instances specifically when I hosted your word chain challenge. Every time you got something wrong, I had to tell everyone that they were wrong. You're like, I know. Every time you're like, I know I'm wrong. Don't worry. And the one that I remember specifically, you guys were doing the study guide challenge or the study time challenge, and Mira had gotten her question wrong. And Logan goes, yeah, I know you got it wrong because I knew it. And I was just like, oh, the shade, the sass, like that's crazy. But yeah, and then Logan has cats.
Alrighty, next up. Mike, the Mel Stewart fan. For those who remember, the easiest question in the challenge was, what was the question exactly again?
Who was the director of the movie?
Willy Wonka.
The director of the movie. And Mike was like,
forgot.
and he was like, Mel Stewart. And then everybody made fun of him for it.
Including my own podcast, who still doesn't let me live it down.
All right. And last but not least,
Cody, the Wonka rock star. Because not only, again, rocked out, but also he went out in a blaze like a rock star would.
and I learned this term like 2 weeks ago. I hope I'm using this correctly. If not, I apologize. You were piggy. I think I used that correct because you were eating.
Piggy!
That's Piggy.
The way that I thought
Yes,
was trying to
Piggy.
reference like Lord of the Flies and being like a sacrifice and stoned to death.
I mean, sure, it's a
Come on,
double entendre. All right, next
Yes,
up,
Piggy.
we have jury / finalist. I'm personally proud of the first one. And I'm gonna read it out. We have
Go ahead and reveal
we
it.
have the Bodo and ETU queen.
Oh, you can
Because
show.
girl,
Take a shot.
because take a shot. Take a shot.
Take a shot. Take a
I
shot.
promise you. I promise you the amount of people who were like, "Oh, I was on call with Cake." Then she started talking about Bodo. I was on call with Cake. Then she started talking about ETU.
That was only
Like,
got to the point where every time you mentioned ETU to Sean, he would put in the VL, like in his VLDR, everyone take a shot. Cake just talked about ETU.
And I was gonna say, I think Kate.
I was expecting
I think
I was
Kate
expecting
talked
the
more.
funeral director.
I thought Kate talked
You
more
were expecting
about
that because I
Bodo.
said it.
Yes, I was.
I think Kate talks more about Bodo and ETU in this game more than I heard Distortion.
I won't go that far, but I do think it was funny how many people were like, "Yeah, I hopped off call with Cake," but then she just started talking about Bodo, so we ended the call. Like, all right, next up.
Mira, the Powerpuff Strawberry. So Mira became a Powerpuff Girl, y'all, this season. In the auction, she became a Powerpuff Girl. And also, she was so strawberry loyal, and she was strawberry down.
Except for Marcelo.
And Logan, he was also not included.
Yeah, except for Marcelo.
Logan was also not included in that. He was going first. Marcelo was second if we went to.
No, girl, you were second.
Girl, no.
Anyways, next up.
Not to the straw baddies. Thank you.
One, the Wi-Fi barb. Because you know what? One came for Kate's Wi-Fi, so literally, one is the barb of the Wi-Fi of the internet.
Yeah.
And also was a Nicki Minaj stand.
Juan said one of our favorite quotes of the season when he was like, "You should be worrying about your Wi-Fi." Like, that was crazy.
That competition was so funny just for the fact that Cake and Juan just kept reading each other the entire time.
All right, next up.
Coach, the social fireball. Because not only the top of the trust rankings, but you know, Coach, he's gonna have a nipper or a bottle of fireball on him, and there you go, it's right there.
The fireball mini is sending me
There
right
was a moment where in Coach and Sam's one-on-one where Coach was like, "Oh, I have to go to a meet today. I came prepared," and it was just like one of those like 6-pack of the mini fireballs, and that is I was like, period. All right, next up.
Sam, the pre-existing relationship, like nobody knew who Sam was, but he did come in this game with that relationship with Joanne, and we never got to see how that turned out.
An honorable mention, because I just thought of this as well for Sam, but Sam, we could have given you the Mike Evans stand because you and Rachel talked about this man. I don't even know who he is, but you guys talked about this man more and more. I just don't know who he is.
The best.
All right, next up we have Taco
Taco
Tony.
Tony, the coin pantry, because not when you think of pantry, you're thinking of a food pantry. Taco Tony would give all the food in the world with those cafeteria pictures he would submit every single day, and he was also donating his coins to like every single person every single day with those pictures. Every time I got on Discord, Taco Tony in his pod chat, "Oh, I'm giving a coin to this person. I'm giving a coin to that person."
And it wasn't even just to the people he was aligned with. It was to
everybody.
Everybody in the game.
Like he sent one to Mira, I think, once when they had not spoken at all, and the first word in their one-on-one was "Thanks for the coin."
And honestly, this is where, like, as much as like we can joke around about it and say it was just kind of like a decent social move, it was actually a fantastic strategical move as well. He quite literally gave Sam one coin right before the merge, and that got Sam from 29 to 30 coins for Sam to buy the Blueberry Idol the last possible day that they could before the merge. So Sam idling and could have possibly been rocked out if it was not for Taco Tony giving out one of his idols.
Right, next up,
love it.
We have the Sean will be Sean.
The Sean will be Sean because It was Coach who kept saying that all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if
Anybody
this
who would listen.
I don't know if this is a previous like game thing, but Denson went to every chat, and if someone said like, "Hey, I spoke to Sean. I'm not too confident about like what Sean's saying today," Denson would just go, "Well, Sean will be Sean." Even in the jury, like the first thing, like when people were like, we want Sean to be in here, Denson was like, "Well, I always say Sean will be Sean." But that's true. I mean, you even said it yourself. You came into this game wanting to play as a villain, so Sean will be Sean. All right. Next up, we have
Marcelo, the
fight.
Fire Slayer, because Marcelo would always be screaming slay, but that fire part, yeah, because he got sniped in that fire battle.
And plus, I got to hear Billy say slay for the first time, so
Literally.
You kind of had to, like.
all right.
Next up, we have Sabrina, the first aid kit, because Sabrina was battling all these flus, these COVID, now the stomach bug. She was battling everything. But you know, first aid kits, they have medicine and bandages that come with them. And she would bandage herself up and be ready to go and continue going.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, I was just gonna say, I remember feeling so bad when Sabrina was like, "Yeah, I have to sit out of this challenge," and then like the next day, you're like, "Okay, now I got to go back to work, go talk to these people," and I was like, "You're dying," and she's like, "And there's a vote."
There was a good portion of this game where like I was thinking we might actually have to medically evacuate Sabrina.
All right, next up we have the Golden Doll.
For Aaliyah, because she always is the biggest doll shout out. She's has it on the earring. She's styling. And she's golden because not only she's an amazing person, but also she queened and went through this whole game like a champ.
You might know where this is going.
And
But
for
Justin has the Salmonella Devil.
Salmonella Devil, because you know, when you eat raw chicken, you know what that causes? Salmonella. And then the devil, not only is that a devilish move to be eating that to yourself, but also it's in reference to a specific episode quote that will be revealed. And it was one of the funniest things timing things that have happened.
Yeah, immediately after Marcelo went to fire, Justin went and was like, "Oh, I'm the devil." So, but thank you guys again. We hope you had the best time and got to explore all your favorite different types of candies, including I think someone said Benadryl, Tylenol. What was some fentanyl was you said?
No, not too much.
NyQuil.
I said Xanax.
No, Tony said fentanyl.
Get the fuck out. No.
Yeah, but Justin is our winner. And being like Charlie, you're not facing any of those unfortunate events. This factory is yours. Thank you for taking it off my hands. But production will now prepare to leave. You have the factory to yourself. We have better things and more important trips to take. So, that being said, I just want to say thank you again to every player who played this season, all my besties on prod, the after show team, anyone who had supported us and watched a stream, voted at a poll in the VL. Thank you so much. I'm just super thankful. Going out of All Stars into the quote unquote new era of Distortion. Super glad to have a wonderful cast like you guys. I'm going to stop the stream and then you guys are free to